I just stand here primarily with a responsibility, but not with any authority, on sharing what I have seen in my journey. Let me start with the first submission that wherever you are in your life, whatever you're doing now, you're running your own business, you're heading a corporate, your thing, don't have any boundaries on this is my capacity. I think we are all born as human beings, and that's a blessing, whether you believe you're an atheist, theist, really doesn't matter. But the fact that we are born as human beings means we are born with unlimited capacity. Whether we choose to use it or not, it's like buying a Pentium parallel processor and you say, I'll do only Word document. That doesn't mean your capacity is not. You choose to type Word instead of doing some advanced algorithm. So first thing is, I think we all have to fundamentally believe our capacity is immense. There's just boundless capacity, and where we want to go and what we want to achieve is purely defined by our mind. If that is the blessing we are, and we are born as a human being, and in that you're born as a woman, I personally believe we should wear womanhood on our sleeve, You show your pallu and say, this is who you are. You do not have to hide it somewhere and say, no, I'm an equal to... I think femininity should be expressed in whatever facet you do, and show why being a woman and still doing what you're doing, you bring a certain grace, you bring a certain element. I built an organization, we are about 200 people, and I have more than 40, 50 girls, women. I'll tell you a small anecdote, and for you to just know how we think of women and work and capacities in our mind. It was one of those afternoons we were having a get-together, and I happened to come early, and I was sitting, and I saw some of the women, girls of our folks' office sitting there. You know what happens? There'll be going on. The minute I come, there's an utter silence. Suddenly you feel, why have you sort of intruded their private space? So just to get a humor going, I said, why don't we play a small game? They say this Ardhanarishwara, there's masculine, there's feminine. Everybody has got that aspect. So I said, why don't we do a small test? So why don't you rate yourself how much of feminine you are and how much of masculine you are? And there was absolute silence, and they didn't just want to. So I said, it's okay, play it on me, it's rate me. Then there was a sudden burst of smile and happiness, and there were about 20 girls. And they started saying 98.2, 97.3, 96.5. Beyond 95, the index didn't go anywhere, and that 95 was the masculine part. Okay? It's a satyam what I'm saying. Whatever I speak here, I speak out of my experience. And I was wondering why I could not inspire some of the girls in our office to do big, and I realized a very unique thing which I would have not known if not for that. They thought me telling we can do this, do that, is a masculine aspect, and so they didn't want to lose their femininity by becoming a lead. This was a perception I would have never known if I'd done an HR in-depth study. Nothing would have known, but it just revealed in me in a minute. And so the point I'm trying to say is, many times, what we don't want to do, we attribute it to men. And what we want to do, we say we are feminine. And somewhere the capacity sometimes gets limited because we believe we are victims of... It's a game, I think, which mind plays. I'll give you a short background about what I have been doing, so you can find some life pointers there. I come from a very, very orthodox Tambram family, so I had a clip. If some of you saw me in the morning, it was there. I just left it now for the session now, which means still I have inhibition about should I leave my hair loose or not. That's the conditioning which comes over the years of time. The point I'm trying to tell you is that when I grew up, we were 3 daughters, I was the eldest, and eldest you normally tend to become the most obedient. At least that's what my sister said. You said everything you accepted, it made life difficult for us. Which means our mind gets conditioned into just doing what somebody has asked you to do. No questions. I don't think I have a 20-year-old son, the way he talks to me, I don't think I would have even questioned some of the things with my parents. So I was taught when I was young, I was from Chennai then, I have to go to Hindi Prachar Sabha and learn Pratmik, Madhyama, the exams. I have to learn music. I have to do cooking from the age of 7. And I have to wear school uniform for a convent, come home and get into the Pavada Chat. This is how I was taught. And I did that diligently. And then I moved to Bangalore. And then I was one day in Bangalore, the bus services was really terrible at that point of time. This is, I'm thinking, I'm 48 if you're 47 if you're trying to guess my age, which means about 30 years back. When I was waiting in a bus stop, there was a small shed, and because the bus timings was not fixed, I just casually went into that shed. And I saw some men doing some assembly work, and I was still in the Pavada Davani. Those dresses don't exist now in Bangalore.